All right, today we're doing 11-1, convert customary units of length. And I can convert customary units of length. William has a piece of wire that measures 1 yard long. He will use wire to fix several electrical outlets in his house. How many inches long is the wire? Solve this problem by using bar diagrams. So we know that 1 yard is 3 feet. We've got 3 feet, and we know that each foot is 12 inches. So we could use repeated addition. 12 plus 12 plus 12 equals 36. We could use multiplication. 12 times 3 equals 36. And we know that these are equivalent. So 1 yard is equal to 3 feet and equal to 36 inches. How can you convert inches to yards? How can you convert inches to yards? Would you multiply or divide when converting from a smaller unit to a larger unit? And this is a huge, huge, huge piece of information that you're going to be using as you go through the entire chapter. When we're converting from larger to smaller units, we're always going to multiply. When we convert from smaller to larger, we're going to divide. So we said we had 1 yard equals 3 feet equals 36 inches. So what we're saying here is if we want to go from larger units like feet, so we could say 3 feet equals how many inches? So the larger units are feet, the smaller units are inches, so we're going to multiply. 3 times 12 equals 36. If we're going to go in the other direction, just say we have 36 inches, and we want to know equals how many feet. So in that case, we're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, so we're going to divide. 36 divided by 12 equals 3. And we will go over this over and over and over again. I like to put this right on a sticky note. If you were in the classroom, I would have it posted right on the board, and we would be referring to it the whole time we're doing topic 11. When you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply, and a smaller unit to a larger unit, you divide. All right, moving on. How can you change from one unit of length to another? Some frogs can jump 11.25 feet. What are some other ways to describe the same distance? So remember, we can talk about yards, feet, and inches. That's what we're doing in customary length measurement. That's what we're doing right now. We are talking about the customary measurement system, which uses, in this case, we're using the smallest unit would be an inch. Then we would go up to the feet. Then we go to yards. And then the largest unit we'll do is miles. So these are the guys that we're working with today. And this is a really important bit of information. It's a data bank that, again, you can write it on a sticky note. If you're taking the PSSAs, it would actually give you this equivalency chart for the PSSAs. So if you put it on a note card or a sticky note and have it handy, that is perfectly fine. It's not cheating. So if I want to go from 11.25 feet to how many inches, I'm going from a larger measurement, a foot, to a smaller measurement, an inch. So I'm going to always multiply. So that would be 11.25, and each foot has 12 inches in it. And here we go. Look at, there's that multiplication of fractions. I told you it would sneak up on you in topic 11. So we're going to do multiplication of fractions. I'm going to do a little cross reducing there. And 40 times 3 is 120, and 5 times 3 is 15. So we have 135. 100 and, what do I do here? 44, 45. Oh, that's right. 135 inches. So as we move down here, checking at my problem, I'm going to have 135 inches. So, and remember, when you're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you divide. When you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply. So those are the key concepts for lesson 11-1. If you want to convert yards to feet, so if you want to go from yards to feet, we know that's a larger unit to a smaller unit. So if you have your sticky note handy, we're going to use multiplication. If you want to go from feet to miles, that's a smaller unit to a larger unit. We're going to always divide. And what are some tools you could select to measure length? So if you're at home, what would you use if you wanted to measure the length of something? If you have a ruler in your school kit, you use that. You can also use a yardstick if you have one of those laying around. Some of you might have tape measures in your house. You might have a tape measure that's used for sewing, that's soft. You might have a tape measure that's used in construction that might be made of metal and coils back into itself. But all those things are going to be measuring the distance between 2 points. So we're measuring a straight line. So we need either a ruler, a yardstick, or a tape measure. So now we go up to our work, and always remember, and you can keep writing it on every page if you want, at the top of every page in your workbook, and anywhere, so the point that you don't even have to write it anymore. So keep in mind, okay, we're going from feet to yards. A foot is smaller than a yard, so we're going from smaller to larger, so we're going to divide, and we know that 3 feet are in a yard. For number 5, we're going from feet, inches to inches. So we're going to be going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. So we're multiplying for this guy. So we're going to say 8 feet, 7 inches equals how many inches? Well, what we really need to figure out is 8 feet equals how many inches, and then we'll just add the 7 back in. So we're going to be multiplying. There's 12 inches in a foot, so 8 times 12, 96. And then we'll add those 7 inches that were up here. We'll add them in now. So 103 inches. So it's 103 inches. For number 6, 5.5 feet to inches. So we're going from the larger to the smaller because we're going to multiply. We can do 5.5 times 12. 5 times 12 is 60. And a half of 12 is 6. So I'm going to have 66. Number 7, 288 inches. We're going from smaller to larger. So we're going to divide. We're going to divide 288, the number of inches, and in a yard. How many inches are in a yard? 36. So we're going to do 288 divided by 36. And when we do that, it's going to be a nice even number. It's actually 8. And 219 inches equals how many feet? So we're going from inches to feet. So we're going to be dividing 219 divided by 12. So you can do that off to the side. And let's see, 96. And we have 3 inches left over. So we'll have 18 feet, 3 inches. That's our remainder. Or you could even make that, if you wanted to, a fraction, 18 3/4, which would reduce to 18 1/4. So you've got to make sure you're using your data table if you're not sure how many inches are in a foot or in a yard, and make sure you've got that little sticky note or an index card. You can put that on there, and you can also put the data table from the page before on there if you're not sure how many inches are in a yard as you're doing this work. It's not cheating. You do need to memorize it eventually, but for now you can use your data table. So let's do this little quick right here. 1 foot equals 12 inches, so 2 feet would equal 2 times 12. 3 feet would equal 3 times 12, and 4 feet would equal 4 times 12. 1 yard is 3 feet, 2 yards is 6 feet, 3 yards would be 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 yards would be 4 times 3 is 12. And there you go.